It's not when you're at the top. When you're at the top, you've got all the risk. I'm looking for people who have nothing to take the risk and make something of your life and do something. This is what the Underdog Society is all about.
You've just tuned in to the Underdog Society Podcast, featuring Mr. Trever and Dee. Underdogs Unite.
Hey guys, welcome to the Underdog Society Podcast. My name is Trever Varney.
And I am Next D. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, MrTrevorVarney.com, and Instagram.
So I'm the guy who took a $50,000 loan, turned it $30 million in revenue over the last 6 years, sold over 5,000 motorcycles. I've had 5 locations across the country, sold 2, closed 1, 2, thriving. That's what we're talking about.
That's awesome.
And going to school, working on my side hustle.
Side hustling.
If you wonder what my side hustle is, you're listening to it.
Welcome.
There's a reason you don't hear any advertisements, because this is a side hustle. This isn't what we do for a living. We're giving out free content, free learning, free growing, because we've been so successful in our current business that we don't have to.
Yeah. Our only advertisements are people who help us with making this podcast great for you guys. So David's Studio on Fiverr.com. Check him out. He'll help you out with your auto.
So we survived the hurricane. Sorry for the couple weeks off. Been pretty hectic.
Pretty hectic stuff.
I think you learn a lot about yourself in a storm.
Mm-hmm.
You learn that things that you weren't scared of can terrify you.
Right.
You can learn to be prepared.
Yeah.
And maybe a stressful financial situation or a stressful personal relationship isn't as stressful as you think it is.
Right. Puts things into perspective for sure.
Man, it's just, with so much stress and we have so much going on and we work so much, with all of the projects we have, dealing with the storm and just turning everything off for, 5 days of, a couple days of prep, a day for the hurricane, and 2 days of cleanup, and another 2 days without power. It makes me appreciate coming back to work.
Right.
And that I had a place left to come back to work, and made me realize how small some of the issues that, kept me up at night were.
Right.
I think it's easy to be scared of something or use fear to change your perception. I'll use an example for myself. And I don't know how to say it properly, but there's laws in the world. There's moral and there's actual laws.
Right.
And sometimes you see a law and you feel like you have to follow that law. Now, a good example of this is speeding. Everybody speeds.
Yeah. I just got pulled over the other day.
Now that's illegal.
Yes, it is.
But do people do it?
Absolutely.
Now, is there a difference between speeding and murdering someone?
Yes.
Now, is that a moral law or,
both.
So morally, you decide what you accept is okay in your head. Is it okay to murder a guy who's breaking into your house? You can morally accept that that's okay. Now, legally, you're not sure. It depends what
circumstances.
Was he drunk and just thought it was the wrong house and you murdered him?
Right.
You might go to jail for that.
Right.
Doesn't matter. I've literally seen it. It was in Orlando. A guy shot some kid with a shotgun who was trying to break into his garage. He thought it was his house.
Mm.
So.
Did he end up going to jail?
Oh, yeah. No, yeah. Yeah, it was murder.
That sucks.
You can't just walk out and pull the trigger on some guy if he's he murdered the guy.
Yeah.
But you always think you have the right to protect your house. So I guess moral of what I'm saying is there's a lot of laws that you think you know or don't know or what works. Another example, a criminal recently stole some things from someone I'm close with and didn't get prosecuted. Or you have to be caught in the act is what I've learned.
Mm-hmm.
If you say, hey, this person stole something from me, this is their house, this is where they live, they can't just go arrest that person without a warrant.
Right.
Now, if they caught them on your property or pulled them over as they were leaving your property.
With the goods.
That's different.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you have them on videotape, they can't just go arrest them.
Right.
Well, where do you think a warrant comes from? The state prosecuting attorney.
Right.
Does he have time to write that warrant? Does the guy leave town over the next week while the police are writing that warrant?
Right.
There's a lot of scenarios that happen.
Yeah.
And the only reason I bring up laws and legalities because a lot of people like to use that to their advantage. For example, a repo person. You've been a day late on your car payment, and he's out there saying that you're going to go to jail because you didn't make your car payment. Now, that's something that's not going to happen, but it's using fear to drive how someone is perceiving something.
Yeah. Sure.
So now you're in your head, you're thinking, I don't want to go to jail, so here's my car. Mm-hmm. When in reality, you have rights and different stuff. So I think for me, long story, I'm using a lot of different examples because I enjoy doing that. Mm-hmm. Try and make it clear what I'm thinking in my head, but there are certain responsibilities that I was scared of before the hurricane. When the hurricane happened, and I was like, you know what? Come take my car, which my car's not out for repo, by the way. Use that, but come take my car. There's a hurricane coming. I'm not worried about it.
Right.
Well, no one came and got the car, and now a week's passed, and then then you get the threat again. Hey, I'm going to come take your car, and I'm just like, no, you won't.
Right. Especially not coming down here during a hurricane to take it.
So, just put in perception of how fear works. And fear can work in marketing.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, watch the news.
That's all it is. A 24-hour cycle of fear.
Do you think the water companies promote any type of fear-based tactics in the media?
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, the state of Florida was out of bottled water. Mm-hmm. People were fighting over it, and they did not know why.
Yeah.
Why do you need bottled water if there's a storm?
It's like you just drink 2 liters of soda every other day. You never drink any water, but now you're going to fist fight some 80-year-old woman in the store.
For cases of it.
For a case of water.
I go to Publix, I'm watching people leave with like 5 cases of water in their cart. Mm-hmm. What do you think? I mean, we had 2 cases. We usually have 1 at our house anyways because we drink a lot of bottled water.
Right.
And I asked my wife, I'm like, why do we need more than that? And she's like, you just do. And I'm like, well, no, really, why do we? And I learned that when you don't have power, you use that to wash your hands, brush your teeth, wash your face, kind of shower in the bathtub.
Right.
But overall, like, do I need to shower or does my neighbor need to drink?
Right.
So people are fighting over this water when even the more fucked up part was most people left.
Yeah.
I mean, you ended up leaving.
Yep, sure did.
Half the employees here left. I probably would have if I had the opportunity. But because so many other people left before me, there was no gas, there was no water, there were no hotels.
Yeah.
So I had to weigh my options. I said, do I risk not having gas, getting stuck in Georgia?
Right.
Or, you left at a good time, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you have to make good decisions. We talk about that all the time.
If I had left 2 days before, there was people who took the same drive that I took. It took me 16 hours, but there's people who it took 48 hours to do the same thing, and there was no gas. So it was kind of like at the right time type of deal. It just was.
Yeah.
Because you're right. The gas was gone. If I had stopped in South Carolina or Georgia, I just went. I went from South Carolina to Virginia without stopping. And that could have been a bad situation if there was no gas.
So how do you use fear? Like, nobody wants to talk about this, but they all fucking do it.
Yes, they do.
So how do you use fear in your marketing to sell your product?
I honestly think that you go to the heart of what matters to people. So if it's their kids, if it's their food, if it's their money, if you go to that and say, wouldn't you like peace of mind because you got this product?
I mean, every bank in the country does it.
Absolutely. Any insurance company.
What are you going to do when you're 60 and you want to retire? Give us your money.
That's right.
Invest in our 401k.
Oh, yeah. Look at Aflac. They got a duck that tells you you're going to lose all your income because you broke your arm. It's 100% fear all the time.
Every insurance company, every bank. So why does it seem bad that as a car dealership, you would use fear to help sell your cars? When everyone else does it, no one's talking about it.
Right.
I guarantee you the people that do that advertising are like, all right, how can we scare people into buying our product?
It's subliminal, 100%.
But how much is it subliminal?
I think it's blatantly subliminal.
It's subliminal to you. It's blatant to the people that are doing the marketing.
Correct. And people who are in marketing. Me and you can call it out from a mile away. Don't you want your kids to be safe in this 2017 Toyota Camry? Whereas, maybe I could get a better deal on a Kia. It just depends,
I wonder what the profits on gasoline were last week.
Ridiculous.
So I wonder if the gasoline lobbyists pay the governor of Florida anything for his election.
Sure.
Like 1 cent.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like, it's
absolutely
the circle of, guys, a mandatory evacuation for the entire state.
Oh, yeah.
Boom.
And then they're like, but climate change doesn't exist. Like, the storm was the size of Florida and went up the middle of it. This hasn't happened in 100 years, but okay, nothing to see here.
Well, scientists don't always know what they're talking about.
This is true.
But politicians do.
Hey guys, as a special treat for listening to the Underdog Society podcast, if you go to Fiverr.com, that's Fiverr.com, go search David Studio. He does all our production work. You're going to get a $5 discount by sending him a message. Let him know that you listen to the Underdog Society podcast, and that's where you found it.
100%. But yeah, you're right. How many things are lobby? So, like, have you seen those commercials where there's like high fructose corn syrup? Like they're like, this is good for you now. They use that. There's science that says this is not good for your kids to have, but they're like, it's not as bad as sugar. It's not as bad as this. It's not. But they play off of our emotions on what it is. Like your kid is getting obese and your kid is going to die, but you're still going to give them that because somebody on a commercial says it's okay.
Did you know that if you don't buy your car from Next Motorcycle or your motorcycle from Next Motorcycle, you have a higher probability of crashing and dying?
There you go.
I mean, is that a tactic you could use? I mean, it works in so many other fields.
Yeah. Just like Jim on The Office. I can assure you that our paper is not more flammable than the next company. I don't know if it's less flammable. But yeah, I think you could use it. I think people do use it. And they call it motorcycle safety. And they're like, look at this video of all these people crashing and really getting hurt. And then they're like, come buy from us.
Yeah, it's something you just don't think about. How much fear marketing is a thing.
Yeah.
And I like to break things down of why I'm watching it and what my feelings are as I watch it.
Mm-hmm.
And why it worked and why I do certain things. And I mean, I kind of was thinking it sounds scummy to say fear marketing because no one talks about it. And then I was thinking it's even scummier to like mention it in like a public platform like this. And then I'm thinking, you know what? Like 60% of marketing is fear marketing.
100%. Yeah, I agree with you.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
That's something I'm thinking it was like 10%. Now, as I'm talking this conversation, I'm literally thinking it's
a huge percentage.
Every product.
And you know what else we sell? We sell dreams. I mean, to be honest, we do. So it's either going to be you're afraid and you're going to buy it, or you're dreaming about it and you're going to buy it.
Which is always what people ask me what I sell. I sell nothing. A motorcycle.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want one.
Yeah.
Everyone wants one.
Right.
Even if you're sitting there saying you don't want one, you want one.
Right. How much does that break down to like your primal brain? So it's like either fight or flight, fear or reward. So it's either I'm afraid and I'm going to buy this, this is my reward.
There's certain things that people don't have the opportunity to buy, but every single person, like 100%, 99%, because there's no object, 99% of every single person wants a private jet.
Right.
Am I right? Like, who wouldn't want a private jet?
Right.
If money wasn't an issue. So,
correct.
And that breaks all the way down. Everyone wants a motorcycle. I mean, it's the same fucking thing.
Right.
So I don't sell. I provide you with information and a product.
Right.
And then we advertise dreams.
Right. You're right.
Because not everyone can afford the motorcycle, just like they can't afford a private jet. So we just have to let people know we're here and advertise the dream.
Yeah.
And then the rest is just guiding people. That's why, I don't sell anything.
Yeah. People don't believe that they can have the dream. And that's kind of where we come in is we say, guess what? You can have the dream. Anybody can have the dream. They don't believe it. How many times has somebody said to you, well, can I get a motorcycle with my credit? It's like, I just said everybody. Are you included in everybody? Yes. We can get you riding.
And it's crazy how, we're selling dreams, but people are still so negative on their own ability to do anything.
Yeah. I believe in what I do and what I want. I believe in it wholeheartedly.
Even when I couldn't, when I had terrible credit and no money and no job, I applied for a motorcycle loan thinking I would get it.
Right.
And I did not.
Right.
And I did that every single month. I would go back and fill out an application, denied. Fill it out because I'm always positive. Like, there's no situation I see negative.
Right. Right.
When the hurricane comes in, I'm like, you know what? This is going to help me rethink
priorities
in my business and what's important and reevaluate how to make our employees happier, our customers happier, and have a better product.
Right.
Like, that's what I spent my time doing during the hurricane, not scared or worried. I was using it as a positive. It gave me vision to think a different way.
Right.
And instead of myself working out of fear of bills and responsibilities, because that's how I've been living the month before that, because life is an advertisement. And my job was stressful and my life was stressful and I have bills and debt just like every single one of you. And that's what the storm came in, switched up my advertising mode, and was like, hey, relax, Trevor, everything's going to be okay.
Right.
Those bills aren't going to come kill you. that stress isn't going to come kill you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're going to wake up tomorrow and it's going to be another day.
Yeah.
And, I think that's exactly what happened. The storm came by, the sun was shiny the next day, and I'm standing outside and you start thinking, this fear that's been advertising, not just for the hurricane, but in life.
People buy into irrational fears. Like, it's not rational to think that your light bill is going to kill you, but people get that type of fear and stress, and that is what kills you. It's not the lights being out.
Yeah.
It's the anticipation of the fear that kills you.
Yeah, and meanwhile, you get so scared of that, but I'm fairly certain it is illegal to cut someone's power off, even if they don't pay the bill in the state of Florida because of how hot it is and people die.
Interesting.
So, meanwhile, you're worried about paying that bill, and I'm not saying there must be some sort of ramifications for that, but they can't just go turn your power off because it's hot, and you can be old, and you can die, and that's murder.
And they just had that situation happen. They were a block away from the hospital, and all those old people died, and it's so sad and so unfortunate that happened.
But, cautious of, what I learned through the storm is that how much fear was marketing my life, not just the products I buy. Mm-hmm. How to turn that off, learn that fear is marketing, and now bringing that to attention that how much products are fear-based marketing.
It's like survival.
And learning how to either use that for our business or use against that.
Yeah.
Like, we want to push the opposite of fear for our business.
Right.
We want to go as far away from those companies as possible.
Right. Survival based.
And push survival and happiness.
Yeah. Positivity and happiness.
So I think hopefully you learned something from that.
Yeah.
And that's the best part about doing this podcast is we learn as we're doing it. And I'm going to school right now, working on my side hustle, but this isn't stuff that they teach you.
Right.
You're not going to learn fear-based marketing in school.
Right. It's never going to happen.
I mean, it might be a chapter in a book you read.
Right.
But that's real life.
Right.
And that's, breaking down something that you see, how it makes you feel, and what happens to that.
People just aren't asking themselves why. Like, look around and evaluate what's going on with you, and then you'll see. Well, I just wanted to put out there real quickly, if you have the ability to help people who have been affected by Hurricane Harvey, Hurricane Irma, or Hurricane Maria, please reach out to places like the Red Cross. If you have food left over from hurricane prep, if you take it back to the store, they just throw it away. So if you could donate it, please help out people who are in need.
Every single city, we donated our leftover water to the city because there's people that still don't have power.
Right.
Who need that water that you're sitting there, either going to return it or it's just sitting under your stairs or in your kitchen.
Right.
Donate it. Red Cross is a great operation.
Yeah.
Donate your time. I think that's what's crazy. 19,000 people volunteered to help out for Hurricane Irma before it even hit. I saw that on the television.
So there are good people. Don't believe the hype. Don't believe the fear.
Don't believe it. There's more good people than bad people.
That's right. 100%.
You know why? Because I see good people every day. How many bad people I see? Just a couple.
That's right. But
and they're mostly just bad drivers. Sometimes you meet those bad drivers and they're actually good people. So don't be confused. Just because they're honking at you and they're angry, maybe they have a difficult day and they're late for work or they have to go to the bathroom really bad.
Right. Give some people.
So just smile back at them instead of honking back and giving them the finger. Let them pass you.
Hey. Especially if you're not in a rush, give them compassion.
Enjoy your day.
Guys, find us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and MrTrevorVarney.com. Have a good day.